around the world. So, my name is Bridget Cornetti, and I'm a political science major here at Bloomsbury University. Women's rights have become a very important topic to me because I'm all about equality, and I'm really intrigued in learning how it all started. I wanted to compare the rise of feminism in different countries, which makes it more of an international relation because it's all a problem that different countries face. First, I wanted to see how it really all began in the United States and why I'm like the reason to be able to vote and go to school. And I want to compare the most safe country and the most dangerous country, which happened to be Norway and Yemen. So the question is first, what is feminism? Feminism is the advocacy of women's rights. Many societies were built off of the idea of patriarchy, which meant that women were seen as a man objects and cannot do many things men did. And this was a society completely ruled by men. Women eventually grew tired of this and wanted to do more, like get an education, vote, and have the same jobs as men. And that's where feminism really started. Sexism takes a huge part into feminism, and it's because of gender roles. While men hunt and gathered, women stayed behind to cook and take care of the children. Because of this, women were seen as the weaker sex, which made them easy for men to own and control, basically, and for women to just stay behind and not really get involved in the things that were happening. Religion also became a base for the views of sexism because of the stories in the Bible. So now I'm going to focus on the rise of feminism in the United States. Today, women are able to vote, get an education, have a job, but we're still pretty far behind compared to other countries. But the United States actually saw four waves of feminism. 1848 was the first real significant moment in women's history. A group of women led by Elizabeth Stanton met in New York, and this was the time that new jobs and new ideas were able to become accessible, and it was really the first start. There was a second wave of feminism in the United States, and this started in the 60s. This phase began with protests because of this Miss American pageant that was happening, which a lot of women thought it was happening to please the male gaze, and they thought it was happening because of the patriarchy. So this started a whole new level of protest. Now, the third wave of feminism actually was a complete opposite. This wave of feminism let women have the creativity to wear lipstick, high heels, and cleavage, and this actually made a lot of the other feminists mad because they thought they were going back in time, but luckily today, in today's society, it's a lot different now. So there are negatives of women living in America, and it's because about 1 in 5 women, they've been raped or sexually harassed by a man. And this is still based off the stigma that women are men's property, and this unfortunately means that there's more work to be done, but hopefully America can take a look at other countries like Norway or Sweden to be able to compare. So like I said, Norway is actually the safest country for women and the most equal country for women. In 1884, right around the time that America really first started its feminist movement, the women's rights was created, and it was the first movement that they ever had. And because of this, many wealthy men began actually advocating for women, and therefore women were actually able to vote by 1909. And I thought abortion was important to mention because abortion goes hand to hand with women's rights, but they actually started their battle in Norway for abortion in 1913, but they didn't win until 1978, right around America as well. Now, women in Norway actually make up to 70% as much money than men, which is the highest in any country, which is pretty incredible because even America is not there yet. So we were talking about the safest country, but now we move to the most dangerous company. Unfortunately, there's not much history behind women's rights here because women have never had rights here to begin with. For 13 consecutive years now, women have been suffering deeply from deep gender inequality rooted. And it's mostly based off of religion and the books that they read there. But women are treated violently and have the same right to do. And men can do whatever they want to them, such as rape or even throw rocks at them if a woman tries to speak out. Yemen is actually, unfortunately, an extremely poor country. So when women cannot provide for their families like they're supposed to, they are treated harshly, even though it's really not their fault that there's no money or food available for their families. So why is this important? The rise of equal rights has been around since the 1900s, but in today's world it's even more pushed as we're just advocating for black rights, gay rights, women's rights, everything. And there's now a new rise in feminism politics. And I thought it was really important to note and to see where this is all coming from so that countries like Yemen can look at Norway and America and be able to advance and be able to see the freedoms that women have now in today's world. And America still has a lot to do as well, but countries like Norway are advanced when it comes to it. So, yeah.